I'm with Amy Troute from Design for a Home. Welcome.
Good morning.
Amy, we're surrounded by a lot of different window coverings. It's very overwhelming to me, and I'm not really sure how you get started with your clients. Maybe you can help me a little bit, but first off, let's let some light in.
Oh, you found the remote.
I did.
It's good to start with the remote. Yeah, there's a lot of different choices when it comes to window treatments, and I think you kind of have to ask yourself, what do I want to see on my windows? I mean, just because I live in a traditional home doesn't mean I have to have traditional window treatments. Okay. And there are so many things in between.
Let's start with traditional. I believe that it's got to be a little bit harder to find window treatment that matches.
I don't think it's hard. I think you have to kind of determine, what is it I want in a window treatment? Do I want privacy? Do I want light control? Do I want energy conservation? A traditional window treatment, you might initially think of a wood blind, something that would let in enough light but is, kind of easily controlled. Some of the shutters, same sort of thing. It's a traditional element that works in a lot of traditional homes.
Okay. How about contemporary homes? I mean, I see there's a lot of different styles now that I think would really match well.
Exactly. So there's roller shades and Roman shades and different textures and colors and applications. There's top down, bottom up. There's, they roll all the way up or they'll come all the way down. And the textures and the colors that are available now in these kinds of window treatments, they bring in a lot of really interesting color and texture to a space, whether it's something that's a little more rustic, like a woven wood type of shade, or something really contemporary that doesn't necessarily block your view, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of sheer light control and a little bit of privacy.
Could kind of diffuse.
Exactly.
So the view, I think, is obviously the most important. That's why we have windows, let some light through so we can see out. Sometimes you don't want to see out your window. Right. You want people to see in. So what are the options to control that? Right.
So there's different textures, different weights of the actual fabrics that the treatments are made out of. There's top-down, bottom-up treatments that if you have a garden tub and you want to get the view from the beautiful tree that's outside your window, but you don't want anybody to see you in the tub, then you just cover that amount of window that you don't want.
Okay. Yeah, that brings a lot of things up. Okay, so how about color? How do you determine color to match the surroundings?
Well, it's interesting. If you want your window treatments to really stand out, you can bring in something that has its own color.
Okay.
If you want them to sort of blend in, it's really important to take these colors with you to your window in your house and look at them in the light of day and against the paint that you have on your trim and make sure that they work. Because, and really honestly, some of the warmer whites, there's so many whites, and some of the warmer whites are going to cast a different glow in your home versus some of the really cool whites that are going to keep it kind of crisp and clean.
Okay. I noticed on that one it looks like there's some foil actually in it.
Exactly.
What is the function?
So this is a function of, this is actually a blackout application.
Okay.
But it also, these little cells that are inside these treatments hold air, and they're very effective at keeping the cold air out in the winter and the warm air in, and vice versa for the summertime.
So there's some energy efficiency with your window treatment too.
Definitely.
Okay. So along with the energy efficiency, is there any type of tax incentive?
There's always something going on with tax incentives. Honestly, it really depends on where you live and what's going on with the government at that point. So you can always look to your tax advisor or ask your window treatment specialist to give you some guidance.
So with so many selections, cost is really, I'm guessing, got to have a really wide range.
It is. There's like any other piece of furniture. You could buy good, better, or best, and the variety that's at each of those levels is very expansive.
Okay.
If I want a roller shade and I have the lower end of the budget, I still have a good selection of what I want to get. All the way up to the most extravagant, where you have remote controls and things are kind of operated in a different way.
Okay, that's great. So any final tip?
I think really be careful with your measuring. Once you've gone through the piles and piles of selections, then going in and measuring the windows that those treatments are going to come into, it's imperative that those measurements are correct. And a lot of times it's so much easier to go ahead and refer to a professional where their measurements are what it's ordered, and if they come in and they're not correct, then it's not coming out of your pocket.
So if you do it, it's on you. If I do it, it's on me.
That's right.
Okay, that's some great information. That brings our story to a close.